Great, good afternoon. As you guys all know, it's been unseasonably dry and hot and windy. We've had over 340 wildfires this year already. Obviously the Hyde Park fire is the one that everyone is watching. It's now, I'm sure by this time today, it's over 50,000 acres. The threat to life and property really has, I think, grown to a point where we need to have just get questions out of people's minds, have a unified approach to how we're going to address this. So we're going to have a statewide ban on open fires, although with a number of exceptions. We're not going to ban fires in established campsites, established campsites or recreation areas. So these are the formerly pitted ones. They often have a built-in grill. We're not going to ban commercial or municipal fireworks as long as they have a permit by the sheriff. Again, this is a local controlled state, but we want to make sure that everyone understands just how dry it is out there and how high is the risk. I think it's worth keeping in perspective that we have in the state of Colorado over 23 million acres of public, both state and federal land that is, the vast majority is used for outdoor recreation. 50,000 acres is roughly 0.2% of that. So I want to be very clear that we're not telling people not to go out and enjoy the outdoors. Colorado is probably the greatest state in America for people getting their first taste of the outdoors. And there's nothing to diminish that possibility. We have 41 state parks, over 330 wildlife areas. Roughly, if you add up all the state and federal campsites, the formal campsites, there's probably over 10,000 of them in Colorado. I think there are about 120 that are presently off limits in the evacuated areas around the Hyde Park fire. So again, 99.5% of our campsites are still fully accessible. People want to go out on Father's Day weekend. They want to prepare for the 4th of July weekend. They're probably, I'm sure the crowds will be a little bit tampered down. It'll probably never be a better time to go out and experience the Colorado outdoors. We just want to make sure everybody's aware that you've got to have a very heightened sense of awareness. I want to thank some of our staff, Jack Finlaw and James Eklund, around here somewhere, our legal eagles. Doug Young has done a lot of the policy work on all this. I go down the list. There's dozens of people, but especially I want to thank again, as I have every day this week, all the individuals fighting the fires in Larimer County. And I think if you include all the firefighters and the support personnel, that number's up. They told me last night there were roughly 1,600 people involved in the effort. Those folks are putting their 100%, their life and their souls into fighting this fire, and we all owe them a debt of gratitude. Any questions?
Governor, this morning on KOA, you sort of indicated that you might not do what you're just doing, that you would let the counties decide and that the state would just enforce whatever the counties decide.
Well, we talked to an awful lot of the counties, and as of June 12th, 55 out of 64 counties had fire conditions that were either high, very high, or extreme. Some of those other counties, the first 4 we called, even though they weren't judged that way in this federal criteria, they had enacted their own fire bans, very similar to what we just did. And when we sat and thought about it, there seemed more better, rather than saying everyone check with your local people and what county are you going to be hiking to if you're going out this weekend, let's just, right now, while we know the entire state is tinder dry, that we're just going to, for the time being, have a statewide ban. As we get, let's say we start getting a lot of rain in northwestern Colorado, we'll back off into something. I think maybe what we'll do is, at that point, define those counties where the risk is judged high, very high, or extreme. Then we'll have a fire ban there, again, with all these exceptions. But right now, at this moment, we felt that it was imperative to get everybody focused and just say, all right, again, we're still going to have fireworks. We're going to celebrate the 4th of July. This is the state where America the Beautiful was written. It's part of our heritage. But we want people, we don't want any lack of clarity. We want everybody very, very focused that this is an extremely dry, hot, and windy time of the year, and the forecast seems to be showing no strong end in sight. We might get a sprinkle here or there, but nothing that's going to significantly change our susceptibility to wildfires.